All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you again, and welcome back to the New York live session. It is 8 a.m. Eastern Standard. Now we are moving into 28th of November 2017. And before we begin, I would like to remind most of the uh, most of the viewers here that we are quickly approaching the end of the November series 28th today, and those who have not been with me earlier the past 2 years, uh, especially for them, watch out for meaningful tops and bottoms being formed across uh, most instruments around the next couple of trading days. Either we have already gotten bottoms and tops, those might be tested, but just around the final trading days of a particular series and the beginning of a new series, that's the time when uh, majority of the highs and lows are formed across the board, which tend to remain for the entire series. All right, make note of this point. It's a very practical trading technique, uh, which you can use to your benefit and advantage, and 8 out of 10 times it proves to be correct. I can give you a crude example. 7th of November lows, see, 27th of October lows were tested on the 7th, and then that remained for the rest of the series. All right, so it's a good way to deal with that. I think we can start now with the Euro USD, and that's a 4-hour time frame on your charts flashing here. Uh, if you look at the way, we'll quickly revise the trade setup. There's no change actually, no change at all in what we want to do. That's the leading diagonal, potential leading diagonal, followed by a counter trend rally, which is stalling right at the Fibonacci 786 convergence, both resistance and extensions of the trend and the counter trend. I would call this as an intermediary downtrend, followed by a counter trend rally, which has taken shape of an ABC. So it is, euro has stalled right ahead of the convergence levels. Maybe we've gotten a top here. If you were there in the last New York live, we were discussing about one more high potentially, and that's what we got exactly after the session was done, around 1960 65. Let me check, 61 it was. All right, so 77 was the maximum expectation. Okay, uh, having said that, if you look at the trade setup in euro, you should be staying on the short side, brothers. All right, there has been a query about how to deal a particular chart on a shorter time frame. Okay, so I'd like to address it briefly in this session, if at all it's going to help out. See, we normally have a trade practice of starting with a daily chart. If you noticed, I brought up the daily chart when we began trading or discussing euro. Even in the last session, we discussed briefly about the potential wave count that we are following. Either we've got 5 up, we are looking for 3 down, or we have 3 up and we are looking for the fourth wave to terminate somewhere around the vicinity of 1480. Yes. So we catch the trend on the daily chart and then move back on the 4 hours and the hourlies and the 15 minutes, depending on what trade timing we want to be into. All right, so Generally the trend is down, okay, but when you want to play it both sides, I think I highlighted this point in the dollar index, but just in case if you missed that, I would like to repeat that again on for a euro. See, we are on an hourly chart. Maybe a meaningful boundary has formed, a support has been taken, all right, so we can expect a retracement. Maybe the retracement is also done around 1920 levels. So what you can do is, if you want to play around the short game, you should go on a 15 minutes chart, watch out for the recent boundary that is being worked upon. I repeat, please watch out for the recent boundary that is being worked upon. Now here, if you look at the recent boundary, that was the first boundary, which was retraced almost 30%, and I think that the second boundary is still into the making. So maybe prices may rally towards the 190500 mark again. How do you find that? Just take a retracement of the recent boundary that you think is being worked upon. In fact, I would suggest take the entire one as well. So where's the resistance now? 1902. Wait for prices to reach 1902, and then you can go short again towards the major trend. Once you found out the major trend, which is down in this case, you just have to play around the small boundaries on the smaller time frames. Okay, that's how you can deal with trading short-term games. How do you find out the targets? Just take the extension of the recent boundary that you've been finding to work upon. Take an extension. So that shows around 1846. So here's the trade entry. If you want to play short term, 1900 level, stop above 1920. This is going to be risky, though. Trading short term and intraday is always, it carries more risk, because more the time you trade, the frequency of the trade increases, the frequency of your risk also increases. So make sure that you place your stop loss above the resistance and take it towards 1846. For those who are trading swing traders, basically I am also a swing trader. Sometimes though partial profits are taken, but I don't leave the trade mostly if I'm very sure about the trade or swing here. Then you should remain towards the larger trend and look to add your positions at every pullback. Alright, so in short, euro selling on rallies persists. Please remain short. Look to sell on rallies actually towards the 1900 mark, or maybe towards 1920 again if it's wanting to test that. Alright, stop loss does not change for now. It remains at 2092. We will revise the stop loss as and when the trade materializes or moves towards the expected direction. All right, next, dollar index. This setup is one of the best. Dollar index, I said one of the best because first of all, it has neatly followed the rules of a standard basic pennant. You can watch the educational video, the first one, where we have discussed about the basic pennant or basic structure of the wave principle, which says 5 up followed by 3 down. There it is. And then when you mix it up with your trend lines, it looks even better. Trend lines and Fibonacci's and support and resistance along with the wave counts is a really deadly combination. It gives us a lot of confidence. So do you see a backside test here? That's one of the best place to strike. Actually we missed that trade by just about 20 points. We were expecting a rally towards 40 and then a drop. So that drop was missed, but it's okay. Markets are all the time swinging. we are back on the trade on the long side, and I think we should be able to capitalize it as well. So the retracement, perfect. It has taken a book value trade, bouncing right at the 61.8%. Now the next target, or the next soft target, should be 93.26, 93.30. It could take a break after that, but the one which the bulls are looking to really take out is 94.20. It makes a lot of sense as well. All right, so a perfect display of the basic wave structure: 5 up, impulse, followed by 3 down, corrective. That is also a Gartley structure. So all in all, you should be remaining on the north side. One more indicator which helped us pick this trade up on the long side was those two brothers, MACDs and the RSIs. Now watch out for that angle, it's very important. See, the crossover is done, but the crossover is done with a great angle, which counts a lot. You see the bullish divergence we were talking about in the last two sessions, that has paid out well. And most of the time, as I said, bullish divergence or bearish divergence is when you pick that up on the right side, they give a lot of confidence for the straight setup. So long, and for all corrective drops, we should be looking to buy further. Another small announcement. I mean, we are going to face some fundamental trigger in the next 20 minutes. US dollar goods balance or trade balance. We will be discussing not discussing about the fundamental events and what the numbers are going to come. Basically, what you will realize over the period of time in these sessions or the educational sessions, if you are attending regularly, is that all the news are just fundamental triggers for us. They are just triggers in the sense that it moves prices towards the direction that we might have been expecting it to do so, and that's all. All right. It is a point of debate as how is it possible that you're not following the fundamental news, but that's a practical way to deal, and it's like keeping things simple. It's like keeping things on charts. All right, but the experience will speak out. So just have some faith, and you'll understand that what fundamental news are coming. They're nothing more than triggers for us. Triggers in the sense that we are looking for trading opportunities. All right, so when the news elements are coming, we are more sure about what could be possible, the highs and lows and the resistances and support levels which we are expecting. Like for example in gold, right, we know that the down boundary from 1357, I might bring that up again if you are joining fresh. That's the boundary I'm talking about. I cannot zoom in the entire structure. It is not showing the candlestick properly. This fall, this drop is already impulse. What it means is the correction which is going on right now, when it is completed, I mean the drop is still not complete. That's what the clear message is being sent out. Whatever happens, I mean, higher probabilities are for new lows to form here. Okay, now going forward, if we see there it could be that the retracement is done, or more chances. Let's keep the options open. It can actually go and form a flat here. Flat is where almost it goes and touches the previous highs. All right, and if you look at the Fibonacci retracements, now it doesn't mean that you move your stop loss so much. We are short from 96, 97. Okay, it does not make much sense to place your stop loss very far and put much equity into risk. All right. We have suggested a stop around 1307, and the last session we suggested to move it slightly up towards 1310 if the equity management permits. If it is not permitting, then let it be so. We will deal again when a meaningful top is seen. High probable top could have just formed yesterday around 1299 as well, but the maximum upside could be 13.56 or maybe 13.89. We don't know that where it's going to stop. It could go all the way towards the 61.8% as well. But the bottom line is we are looking to sell on rallies. All right. Now, on the other side, if we go on an hourly chart and evaluate what gold could do or could be making, watch out for a drop below 1285 and the break below that trend line. Once it enters into the sell zone here, it's more or less confirmed that your top is in place at 1299. All right, so the trade in gold is also to be looking to sell on rallies and remain short for now. Crude oil. All right, we've been stopped out of Bitcoin, just to give a small update, at 9900, but that should not be it. Actually, Bitcoin is, you should be very cautious if you are trading Bitcoins long right now. Resistances are approaching very quickly. I'm more interested on the daily chart setup. I can see an evening star in the making here. So crude oil also remains mostly unchanged. All right. Once again, what triggered the shorts in crude oil was basically due to that confidence which was shown by the RSI. Look at that bearish divergence when prices were rising. So one is the waves A, B and C being complete. You see 3, 3 and 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That's a corrective. That was a corrective rally. So one was the waves, the other one was the RSI showing complete bearish divergence. Watch out for 55 in crude oil. Next is pound. There is no change in pound. In fact, pound is moving towards our expected trade territory, and it has reversed right from, we went short around 33.75. That was the second short, which was called on live, and the previous short was around 3300. We are still making some money there, but I think this is just the beginning. In fact, now if I give you a crude example how to deal this in a shorter time frame, this is the best one. You have a working boundary in place. That was the working boundary. Which was retraced yesterday or today, I suppose. You can look that there is a retracement of 61.8% taken as well. I'll just take a few seconds here. There you go. And then, so you have to go short there again. And extensions, if you'd like to trade the short-term take profit levels, the extensions are pointing towards 32.50 and 32.20. So that should be the next potential trade target for this trade. So sell here, stop there, around 33.81 and target 32.50 and 32.20 or 32.30. That's how you play the short term game. Alright, so we'll bring this session to a pause again, but it's more or less longs across the board in dollar and short across the board counter dollar currency pairs. Alright, and as always, a little declaration here: if you're liking this channel, kindly help spread the word. You can subscribe to this channel. This is can help spreading the word will be good for us. You can subscribe this channel, or you can subscribe the live telegram channel as well for the live trade setups and updates, and keep visiting the website which is coming up. It's building it slowly actually. Japee at business.site. Alright, as always, thank you for joining me online here, and I'll be back again tomorrow UK time, your UK session actually, 2:30 AM Eastern Standard. Until then, good luck to your trades, and take care and God bless, brothers. Goodbye.